Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Resurwreck Autos HQ. So guys, we are back on the Ford Fiesta today. We're going to take that whole front end off, see how bad that leg on this front of this car is. I have got some bits and pieces for this car that's turned up yesterday. I did notice yesterday, I didn't mention it, but I'm going to tell you that in a second, that I've come across a bit more damage to part of the front end. So we're going to have a quick walk around. I'm going to explain what's going on, and then we're going to jump into it and get that front end completely off and see. And we're going to measure, the crash bar to the legs just to see how far it is off. And yeah, hopefully we can deal with it. If we can't, it's got to go to the body shop, but it is what it is. So let's get into it. We'll have a quick walk around. I'm going to explain a few bits and then we'll get cracking. So let's do this. Right, okay, so let's just quickly explain a few bits and pieces and then we're going to get cracking and remove this front end so we can have a look at that leg. I think that leg has gone that way. I think that crash bar has gone like that and it's pushed that leg that way. But we'll see. We're going to measure 0, 0. We're going to measure and see what is going on and what we need to change. But what I did notice yesterday was this cable here, really bad damaged and squashed. And that has to be replaced because that is the bonnet release cable that comes to the bonnet release cable so you can release the bonnet from the inside. So that is bad. That's no good. And we've got to replace that. So I went out yesterday to the breakers and grabbed one. This is the cable, a tenner. Also got the auxiliary belt because we had to cut it off yesterday. So I've got a new auxiliary belt. The crash bar has turned up. So yeah, a brand new crash bar. And what I mean is when I say 0, 0 is, so you measure center of that hole because that hole is quite large and you have got some movement, but you don't want you don't want that movement. You want it to be center of that hole there, all the way across to center of that hole there. Now we're going to measure from this side across. So whatever measurement that is on that crash bar, we start this way and measure this way and see where it lines up. We'll do that in a little while because we need to get this front end off. I'm going to take the bonnet off as well. Just get that out of the way. Just get it all stripped down. And then let's see what it's like behind all this crap. So let's get set up. Let's do this. Right, okay, guys, it's all off, as you just saw me do there. I didn't go any further because I wanted to show you the stage that I'm at, really, which is I'm going to release the crash bar, but that I'll tell you what, this leg, I think that's got a little bit of a movement in it as well. I might be wrong, but we've got to check when it comes to parts. So what I've got to do is I've got to connect the crash bar to the slam panel and then put it in place and then check to see what my headlight points are. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that leg's, mate, I think that it's had a hit there and it's pulled that one over as well. I might be wrong here, but I don't know. Or it's hit there and it's pushed the leg this way. That leg just looks like it's just too far that way. I think it needs to come over. probably, that one's probably worse. I think that's actually worse than the other side, but I don't know. It's really hard to work out. We need to completely strip this off, completely take everything away, and then once that's all away, then we can have a good look at this these legs to see. There is another Fiesta in the yard, so I might go over there just to take some pictures and just take some reference points as to where these legs should sit, because it is pretty difficult. If I like, do you know what I mean? If I'm gonna have a mess around with it, like, and if I can't mess around with them the right, it's going to the body shop. It's simple as that. But I always like to have a go. You know me, guys. I just like to have a go, like to have a play, just to see if see if I'm able, my ability. Do you know what I mean? I always try and push my ability to the limit and have a go. You have to, otherwise, just life's boring, really. But anyway, we've got to continue. But this is obviously where the donk is hit a post or something, or a tree, or don't know. But yeah, I reckon, even though we have got some coolant to come out, I think that rad pack needs to be changed. I think some pipes need to be changed. I think this, where is it? This one here, I think that's squashed. That goes to the wash of the coolant bottle. I think we have to replace that because it's squashed here. Can't really rely on that to get you know, that's got to have, this one here has got to have I don't know if that's just air though, that one, I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll replace anything that needs to be replaced, but we need to get this crash bar off. So I'm going to take the car down so it's low, so then when I ping these crash bars, it's gonna fall on the floor, or it's gonna, you know, I just think it's all rubbish, really. I've got to change everything. Even the aircon pipes, I think I've got to change underneath here. We've got plugs with wires that are broke as well. You can see there's a, I don't know if I can show you that there. There's a broken wire there. You can see it just there. So we've got to deal with that as well. So, but I expected like some damage to pipes and wires. Wires get squashed, wires get broken. So we'll have to do a bit of soldering, and yeah, get that repaired basically. But yeah, let's continue. But I just wanted to show you before I ripped everything off what is going on. But yeah, it's getting there. So let's continue. Let's do this. Right, okay, guys, I've stripped it all off. Pipe work, everything, aircon pipes, they're all off and out the way. I just wanted to check and go over everything just to see if anything else is damaged. And yeah, apart from obviously what I showed you before, which was this wire here. But we'll do, what I'm going to probably do, I'm going to snip that off, both of them, and then resolder an extra little bit length of wire. Not that it needs it, because it's right there. This is for the the air conditioning compressor, and it just fits in there like that. So you don't need a long bit of wire, but I just think it just needs a, yeah, I think it might have been pulled or stretched or something. I don't know if I want to be able to connect that up. It might be stretched. But yeah, we've got to deal with that and sort that out. But that's the least of the problems, isn't it? The problem is obviously the legs. And I have actually measured the gap between hole to hole. So this one here, across to this one here, on the new crash bar, which is this hole here. Again, I said to you, it's larger, but we've got to get it central so that we've got that movement then. So from here all the way across to here is 915 millimeters. Now, 915 millimeters, I've already measured it. From this one, going this way, it's probably about 10 mil. This leg is that way, 10 mil. From this point, reference to see if that is in the correct position. I've got a funny feeling it's close. I think the actual plate, this is the plate of it, the leg. I think this end has been pushed in top and bottom, so we've got to bring it out a little bit. But I think this side, I think, is exactly where it should be. Now, the only way to get 100% reference is to build up the front end with the crash bar and the slam panel, and then put it in place so that the bolt is here, right? And let it sit like that way, because I'm not going to be able to connect it up because that leg is too far up. So I'm not going to be able to connect this side, but I am going to be able to sit it just in place. And then once that's in place, check the headlight, because the headlight and the wing, you know, hasn't moved. So the headlight's got to connect here, and it's got to sit flush here and run down and then connect on top of the slam panel. So I'm going to be doing that, I think. It's going to take a lot of time and messing around to try and get it, to see if I can sort of work out this leg. We've got to get this leg straight and in the right position first, and that the only way to do that is use the headlight as a guide, because the headlight needs to run along this bit here. So if we put the headlight on and the headlight sort of seems to be sticking over here, we know that leg is that way and it needs to go that way. So do you see what I mean? So it's a little bit of messing around, but it's definitely worth it. So let's continue. I'll set you back up. Let's see if we can work this out before I give up and send it to the body shop. I want to have a try. So yeah, let's carry on, guys. Let's do this. Right, okay, just want to cut in there again, guys, just showing you exactly what is going on. because, you know, I just need to explain what I'm doing. So basically what I've done, I've connected the crash bar to the slam panel in the right position. So that's secure. A couple of screws missing, but it's there. Then I've used a jack with a little bit of timber to get the level where the screw is. And as you can see right there, that one there is absolutely spot on center. And I've done this bolt up, okay? And again, you can look at these ones here. They're spot on in the middle where they should be. Now, I had a funny feeling that this side of the actual leg plate was in the correct position, and this side, like I showed you earlier, had pushed in, which is correct because I put a bolt there and fixed it up against the plate at the back here, nice and tight, so that when you look down there now, can you see that gap there on this side? And that's because this side of the plate was pushed in and it needs coming out. But more importantly, is it in the right position? Now, I've used the headlight because that gap there needs to be exactly where it should be. And look, if there was an issue with the position of this headlight, so if I can only screw the headlight to that screw there into the top of the slam panel, and I can only screw it there into the top of the headlight, so to the wing. So if the leg was that way or this way, the headlight will go out or it'd go in, but it's not. It's absolutely spot on where it should be. So that gives me a reference point from this leg going that way now. Do you know what I mean? So this leg, apart from that end of the lip, the plate needs pulling out on the left, pulling back towards me on the left, but the right-hand side is spot on where it should be. So we are good there, apart from that end plate. Now, we turn our attention this side to this leg to see where we are. Now, if you look through that hole just there, you can see this one here, you can see the fixing just there. Now that is about 10, 12 mil off where it should be. So that leg to me has pushed that way 10 to 12 mil, and it needs coming this way, and the plate at the top needs coming back this way as well to join up where it should be. But I've got to be honest, it ain't as bad. It's not as bad as I thought. It really ain't. Which is good news, really. It means that possibly I'm going to be able to move this, but I'm still going to get the body shop over to help, just to make sure. But doing this seems to relate to lining it back up. Do you see what I mean? So that's why it was crucial. Very, very crucial. And I got lucky, I've got to be honest, that this side is pretty much where it should be, apart from the back plate needs to come forward towards me, which is good news, which means that cannot move where it is. It cannot move. It just needs to be pulled with the slide hammer. So I'll probably do that next. I'll get this. And then I've got different adjustments, different parts, different bits and pieces I can use to pull the actual, to pull the plates straight. I'll probably do it on this as well, see if I can pull this over. But I think, guys, that's good news. So let's carry on. I'm now going to take it all back apart, and I'm going to mess around with those back plates on both the sides. And yeah, we'll just carry on, see how far we get. But let's keep doing it. Let's go. Let's do this. Right, okay, guys, it was going so well. It really, really was. But it is what it is. You know, you just got to sort of roll with it. You got to deal with it, and yeah, you got to sort it out. So, what I decided to do, I was pulling out the actual front, the legs of the frames of the legs, and pulling them out, and it actually is pulled out quite well. But once I fitted it back on, the crash bar and the slam panel and the headlight, that was perfect. Soon as I put this bonnet on, it all went to put, because the bonnet is in the correct position, as in gaps. There, running down both sides, is spot on. It's in the correct position where it should be. A little bit of damage to that bit there, but the gaps are correct. Okay, so I know the bonnet is in the correct position, but and I know that the headlight is in the correct position with the slam panel. But you can see here, the bonnet is overlapping the headlight. Now that means that this leg needs to go to the right. That leg needs to go that way. For that to, it's not a lot. It ain't a massive amount. Mind you, when you look at it like that, when I look at it like that, it does look quite a lot. But yeah, this leg is definitely not in the right position now. Now I've put the bonnet on. Now I can tell. I'd love to try, but I haven't got the headlight. I'd love to get the other headlight, put it in place, and I can show you exactly how far that is over this way. So not only do we have to move that one, which is even further now, because you can see that, you know, it's not that far off. I've not touched this leg, but the whole thing needs to go that way. But, you know, like I said, it is what it is. But I just want to show you, whilst I was pulling that sort of back, look how close that is now, look. It still needs a little bit of work there. And it still needs a little bit of work top and bottom. But look how much better that is. It really, really is getting a lot straighter now. But, and that's why I put the headlights on, just to make sure that it's in the correct position. So I can't move. This bolt is bolted to this slam panel. The slam panel is bolted to the crash bar. The crash bar is bolted to the leg. So you can see where I'm going with this. And because I've just put that bonnet on, that headlight is in the correct position to the slam panel, to the crash bar, but it's not to the leg. So that leg definitely needs pulling back this way, and then that further leg over there needs pulling even more. So if this has got to go over 10 mil, that's got to go over 20 mil, because it's already 10 mil that way. So you see what I mean? So yeah, I've hit a bit of a roadblock, but I did originally turn around and said to you that it's going to go to the body shop if I can't do it. And this looks like this is what's got to happen now. This has to go to the body shop. They're going to have to move these legs around, pull them about, straighten them back up, and get it in the right position. But it's, you know, that's why I wanted to sort of just quickly put this bonnet in place and see. Don't get me wrong, you have got a little bit of tolerance. I could undo this headlight a little bit and pull it this way, but it's not really the right thing to do. It's definitely not sort of, do you know what I mean? It just needs a little bit more tweaking, but I'll know 100% that that's wrong once I put that headlight in place. I have ordered it, but it hasn't turned up. So what I'm going to do is I am going to order some other bits and pieces. I need to order another aircon rad, because this one is definitely gone. I don't think the water rad has actually been damaged. I think that's good, because I've just filled it up with water and it held. without no leaks. So I think that's good. But we have got some pipes that I need to change. So I've got to source some pipes, bits and pieces. And then once I've got all the bits and pieces, I'll send it over to the body shop, and he can have a good crack at moving that around and lining that back up. But it's interesting to see exactly sort of, you know, because obviously I always like to show exactly from start to finish what's gone on, how it needs to be moved, how it needs, and it actually, this one isn't that bad considering. Do you know what I mean? It really isn't. So yeah, we just hit a wall, and I did think we was going to hit that wall because of the legs, but just needed to verify and show exactly what is going on. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. That is going to be the end of today's video on this Ford Fiesta. We're going to come back to it once we get a bit further along. But for now, that's it. Don't forget, drop me a comment down below, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.